request about continuation with your summer camp at the holiday sale. I know you talked about that and things like that, but people want to know how. Okay, that's what they want right there.
This is so here. Let me get. I thought I had the extras up here, but I don't. Here, we'll just open one. Okay, so this is mailer number 2 that's going out for holiday sale. Mailer number 1 is a preview of all the items. It's a front and back flyer. We have the local print shop printed out. They put on this cool like paper. We don't print it out. Good God, that would kill our ink. And then we print a letter that's like, we're so excited about our holiday sale. And then the second mailer here is all these little coupons. So the print shop still prints them out, but then they cut them. So some of them are back to back. Like these are back to back. And some of them, so like private lesson packages. This isn't even really a coupon. It just puts something in their hand, Annual membership, save 10%. They don't have to have this coupon, but it's going to make them go through it like it's a Valpak type thing. Do y'all have Valpaks?
Yeah, I love the idea.
Yeah, I straight throw them away, but if I had a Valpak from my kid's dance studio, I would certainly open it. Summer camp, save $100 a week if you sign up, essentially, just in that 3 hours. So there's a difference we know between summer camp and full-day summer camp and partial-day summer camp, right? But most of you guys are running partial-day summer camp. Is that true?
Yes.
No, Kent. What, are you running any summer camp at all, Kent? Full day? Okay. So it doesn't matter if you're doing full day or partial day. The concept is still the same because you're getting your signups as early as possible, and it's a win-win situation. You're asking them to commit super early, and you're giving them a huge, significant, amazing deal off of the camp, which is okay to kind of kill yourself on the price, because then okay, at least I got these people signed up, I don't take any of that money other than a $10 deposit. So those of you guys who are, say, brand new to summer camp, you've never done it before, or you're like, I don't know if it's going to be that successful. If you do have to cancel camp and you refund it, you're only refunding $10 per week per person. Not that I don't think you should refund it, but it's not a huge. I have seen people take in massive amounts of summer camp money ahead of time. We had a guy in our holiday sale group that made like $120,000, and it's because he said, "Hey, you want the summer camp cheap price? You pay the whole thing right now." And he had a bunch of people pay the whole thing right now. I'm not that good a money manager. I know that'll slip away between now and the summer. So they sign up $100 off per week. Where is it? They sign up $100 off per week. And I put the list price as $259 and the weekly price as $159. So it's right there on the sheet. Now, if they don't sign up on Saturday, they don't immediately go to $259. It bumps to $189, then it bumps to $209, then it bumps to $39, then it bumps to $259. So there's bumps along the way, so I can continue to offer early bird. It's just not super early bird. It's still ethical for me that I said, hey, you're getting $100 off the list price. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
When I started the summer camp early sign up, I started it in January, and I thought I was ahead of the game. And then I heard of some people starting theirs in October, and I was like, holy crap. Now, I'm wondering to myself why I don't just re-sign them up the day that they walk out the door for summer camp this year, like of the year. And or I was wondering that last time, and I started to ask people, hey, are you interested in signing up for next year? And they were like, I can't even think about that right now. Like they couldn't, like we got to get ready for school. I don't know if we're going to be here. My husband might get a job offer. So that didn't, like I was getting not pushback, but like nobody was interested in making that commitment again right then, which is why we do it at the holiday sale. They've had a little bit of time to breathe. Fall is over, and they're ready to make that sign up. So
what would you do if you've never done a summer camp before? Can you still do that and just say,
yeah, do it now? And then you got plenty of time to plan, right? Hey, and I would also So there was a class I took called Entrepreneurial Leisure Management. And it was taught by a guy who had never been an entrepreneur and had barely been a leisure manager. But he was pretty sure of the curriculum. He'd been teaching for a long time, right? And one of the last things he had us do was write about how we would start a leisure service and what our pricing would be on it, right? And this was way before I had ever done summer camp. And I thought, well, and there's different kinds of pricing. Penetration, like market penetration, where let's say you're selling Coke for $2 and I'm like, screw you, I'm going to sell Coke for $1 so everybody buys it from me. And then there was the premium pricing, which most of our martial arts schools are, different styles of pricing. And what I told the guy is like, look, I feel like I'll penetrate the market with cheap pricing. I'll build up a following, and then I'll slowly raise the price until I'm premium priced. And he ripped me. You can't do that. That's not how it works. That'll never work. Buddy, it worked just fine. Now, my first years of summer camp were a little difficult because I charged really low prices, but I pulled people in because they were like $99 a week for full day summer camp. Okay, sign me up. So that's what I would do. I would start with $99 a week. Look, we're going to be open from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. Full day summer camp. Way better than childcare. I would use your martial. We don't use martial arts or parkour in our camp right now as a selling point, but I certainly would if I were you. It's a martial arts summer camp because what you're going to get is you're going to get moms and dads that go, so I can drop my kid off at daycare for $130 a week, or they can go learn martial arts for $99 a week. Duh, right? I'm going to go to the martial arts school. So that's what I would do, is leverage your martial arts. It's going to be a martial arts summer camp. Now, of course, mom and dad, we can't do martial arts all day. We're going to go to the park. We're going to play games. We're going to watch movies. We're going to do a few hours of martial arts each day, but they're going to get a martial arts education over the week or over the summer if you so choose to be here. And if you sign up now, it's super cheap. And I would literally just create your profit generator. You can copy mine, do a week-long build-up, and then say, here it is. It's our very first summer camp. Yay, hooray. You've got to jump in feet first if you're going to do it. It's just got to figure it out. And I would do the same thing with if you're doing individual like summer camps, partial day summer camps, like comma camp or hyper camp or whatever. Start filling it up now and then continue to advertise it all the way up through summertime. Your responsible demographic of moms who are paying attention and who like to. My wife had a breakdown this morning because my daughter's pumpkin spice cupcakes that she made weren't pretty enough for the class. Like full-on anxiety attack meltdown. And I'm like, oh my God, we got to get out of the door, right? So like that kind of mom is thinking way ahead of time. And they're like, oh, I'll save money in order to do camp. Like if my daughter had a dance camp that was a partial day dance camp and they sent an email out tomorrow, my wife would sign up for it, Plus think about that. Like if you got a kid who's enrolled right now and between now and the summertime, how likely are they to quit? Pretty likely, right? I mean, you have plenty of people. What do you lose? 10 people a month or so. You sign up 15, you lose 10, whatever. So that's 60 people between now and summer that you may potentially lose. If you sign up 4 or 5 of those people for summer camp, they're more likely to stick around or they're going to come back for summer camp and you get them to re-sign up. So do you guys already have your summer camps all planned out?
Pretty much, yeah.
Then start enrolling, right? When do you start enrolling, Dave?
We're planning on starting at the holiday sale.
Yeah.
I think most moms definitely want to have everything planned by February. So you're not really taking a huge 6-month jump. It's only a couple months jump. And again, if you want your spot, if you're limited availability, people are going to want to make sure they secure that spot now for $10. Let's do it.
Yeah, and we're very honest with that. Like we get a lot of questions from people saying, look, I'm signing up this early. What if something comes up? Am I obligated to pay the $159 for the week? And I say, no, you're not, but you do lose your $10 deposit. And it's non-transferable. So for you guys that are running full-time camps for the whole summer, you are not allowed to sign up for 2 weeks in June and then change your mind and move them to August right before camp starts. It's not allowed. If you want to buy 2 more weeks in August, you're going to buy them at that price point. That does piss off some parents, but if you let them transfer, people will transfer all day long, nonstop, and it gets real messy real fast. It's not scalable. You can do it when you got 13 kids per week. You cannot do it when you have 113. It's impossible. So, and I do make them choose the weeks that day. And that causes some problems as well in the moment. They're like, but I don't know what the weeks are going to be. Oh, I'm so sorry. Do you want to look at your calendar and come back in line? Right? Because otherwise they will never get those weeks. They'll go, can I just get back to you next week? They won't get back to you next week. It'll be all the way up until the week of, and you'll have this random kid whose weeks you don't know when they're coming to camp, and that's no good for your rosters.
So if someone's listening to this and they go, oh, this sounds really great. I want to do it, but what's holding me back is I know I have 8 months to prepare, but I really don't know what I'm going to do for summer camp. I mean, is that like we're going to talk about that starting in January more about, what exactly to do and how many people we need and how do we sign people up at the door and what type of insurance we need? Can we cover all that?
Let's do it. Let's do it. It's going to be more than 14 minutes. Maybe we need a series on that. But yes, so in terms of, I think most people, if they're smart about it, I think you can be ignorant, not dumb, but ignorant of how hard a day of camp is if you've never done it, especially the young guns out there who have the energy and the willpower, but they don't know just how much you start karate at 9 a.m. and you finish at 9:45, and then you're like, dear God, what are we going to do now, right? Oh, my God. And then you're like, okay, we'll play jump rope. Okay, now it's 9:57. Crap, so what we do is how our day goes is we start at 7:30. From 7:30 to 9 is individual activities. So Legos, coloring, books, and it's very low key. They have to be at what we call a center. A center is where some sort of activity is. So they're in our activity room, and I've got a client in New Orleans who does not have an activity room, and he runs really great summer camps. In New Orleans, they have weird, each of the boroughs or whatever they're called has their own school schedule. So he has camps running constantly because no one does the same thing. But what he does is just brings his centers out onto the floor, right? So he brings them out on the karate mat. They do their books or their Legos or their art or whatever. Then they close back up the centers. They push them off. They do their classes, So don't get freaked out that hey, yeah, William, easy for you to say you got this big old space. There are plenty of people that are doing it in 2,500 square feet, and it's just modular, right? So bring out your stuff. They do their activities. You keep them low key. You keep them on the down low. A whistle is your best friend. Short bursts of whistles get people's attention real fast. Hey, buddy, have a seat. There's lots of little tools that you can use. One of my favorite tools is called zero level talking. Do you guys use that? Yeah? All right. If you've never heard that, zero level talking. So if you guys are all my kids and it's getting kind of loud and I need to give an instruction, I know in karate class, I say, focus up, or I say, take a knee, or I say, hands behind your back. It takes one request, and all my karate kids are looking at me, right? Well, one request in 60 summer campers, literally you have kids look at you and go, whatever, right? They're not listening to you. Some of these kids are literally pros at summer camp, and they bounce from summer camp to summer camp, and they're not interested. So I do short bursts of whistles, and then I go zero level talking. We're going to go to zero level talking in 5 seconds. I'm going to count down from 5. When I count down all the way to 0, your hands should be off centers, your eyes should be on me, and your voice should be closed. 5, 4, and I blow my whistle again. 3, blow my whistle. 2, 1, 0. If I hear your voice, your name is on the board, and I have my marker right here. Thomas, that's Thomas's name. Anybody else need their name? Okay, now we can say what our instruction was. And then I give the instruction, because if I give an instruction and somebody's still talking, that's just undermines the whole situation. So we do that to keep everybody kind of down during those 7:30 to 9. And then at 9 a.m., we go out to local parks. We load up our buses and we go to the park. At the park, we don't just play on the equipment. We do individual games as well. you've got 2,500 square feet. Okay, well, Mom, you know what? We play capture the flag at the local park, and it's led by our trained, background check, drug tested, CPR, AED certified staff members. Now that could be you, but it's led by our staff members at the park. So we don't just let them play on the equipment. We do that, and we do structured games. Then we come back for lunch at whatever, 11:30. We eat lunch, and then when it's hot in the afternoon, we rotate through games here in our facility. We play big, gross motor skill games like dodgeball and all the kind of thing. I try to get to their sense of nostalgia. All the stuff that kids aren't allowed to play anymore. You know what I mean, right? Well, we do it here, and we do it safely. And then they rotate through big games and then also low-key activities like Legos and interaction. We don't do any screens at all. I would really suggest no screens at your place. If your kid feels like they have to have their phone, they can check it in at the front desk and get it on the way back out. But if there's an emergency, we're going to call you. Your kid doesn't need to call you. And then at 4, so we rotate through games and activities. And then at 4 o'clock, probably karate classes are starting, and you need to section off your kids that are still in summer camp from your karate kids. And then, parents can pick up as late as 6:30, and your kids are just playing low-key activities like Legos and reading and all that kind of stuff. So that's like a day of our summer camp. And if you will plan out your summer camp in 30-minute sections, and you will have exactly what you're going to do in those 30-minute sections, you'll be ahead of the game for your average summer camp. The average kid that goes to a YMCA camp, they literally put them in a gym and say, don't die. You know, the bullying is rampant. Kids get hurt. We just hired on a guy that worked at YMCA summer camp. And on his first day, I asked him, so how did it go? And he goes, this is the best, most well-oiled machine. I'm so excited to work here because it was just nuts. And he didn't talk bad about it in his interview, but I could tell it was not as much structure as he was wanting. So if you separate it out in 30-minute sections, you're going to be way ahead of the game. Is that kind of what you mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Also, super secret.
Got to get more detail, but yeah.
If you don't have, if you want to go to the parks, or you want to go on a field trip, or you want to go to the pool, and you don't have buses because you don't run a typical after-school program or summer camp, contract with your local school district. They don't run buses except for special events, and they would love to take your money and send you a air-conditioned CDL driver, bus driver to take you to whatever your field trips are. We used that our very first year, and then we leveraged it, right? Nowadays we would say, oh, we don't need to hire buses. We have our own buses that are safety checked every day. But then we said, oh, we would never use our own buses. We use the school district's buses because they're so much safer and the CDL drivers are trained, et cetera, et cetera. And they showed up at 9 a.m. We loaded up all our kids, went to the park, and then came back for lunch. And then they us. Fortunately for us, they billed us at the end of the summer so we could deal with the bill. But that was a way for us to get out of the studio without having to use personal vehicles.
Very cool.
Background check. What do we do?
I do OSBI, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. So if you search background check, there are plenty of places that would love to take $99 or $199 per employee. Literally all they do is take your money and turn around and contact your state Bureau of Investigation. So FBI is federal, contact your state Bureau of Investigation. We pay $15 per person. We send it in. When we hire the person, we send their information in, and they send it back within 7 days. And they send us a copy, a paper copy of their record. Now, if they've never had any infractions before, you can't keep out every person who might cause an infraction or might get a felony, but we can certainly keep them out if they've had something like that.
Yeah, I had to do a background check. I just went to the sheriff's office that's in Palm Beach. I paid them, I think, $12. Waited a couple minutes. They just gave it to me. So.
Yeah. Same thing for drug testing. There are plenty of companies online companies that would love to take your money. There are a lot of local companies that you can literally just call them. Hey, can I send my employees there to do drug testing? Okay. Do you offer a group discount? Okay, great. Same thing with CPR. There's a lot of local companies that will literally just come to your place and teach you all at once. It's a little expensive, but I view it as like a bonding experience. And I want to see how those employees deal with sitting around for 4 hours listening. Are they still attentive? Are they paying attention? Are they really actually trying to save the dummy victim's life, or are they not paying attention? You know?
Can you send them down to the local sheriff's office and have them get their own card?
I like CPR card?
No, their own background check card.
I guess, but I don't I don't want to put that in their hands. I want to see it if they've got something. I don't want them white out in the
I think that some people require fingerprints, so then they have to go with you or have to get it done. But when I did mine, I just had to know the date of birth, the driver's license number, I think, and social security number. It was pretty simple.
We take all that information on their W-2 anyway, or W-4 anyway. So, it's easy for us to, by virtue of being hired, you're submitting to a background check. And we ask them, that's the first thing we ask them before we even talk to them. Can you pass a background check? Can you pass a drug test? Do you have a clean driving record? And if any of those are no's, we need to know what do you mean? And there's an issue now. Marijuana is pretty close to legal. You have to decide if somebody doesn't pass a drug test for weed, is that a problem for you or is that not? Like what I want is barbiturates, opioids. Now, I probably won't hire someone who is a recreational marijuana smoker because I don't want my parents finding out about that. I don't have a moral obligation to it. I would never do it because it's not my thing. But like, you know what I'm saying? Now, if it's medical, you have to decide, is it really medical? Or like, that's something that you should consider before you're sitting down with a candidate and you're going, okay, Sally Johnson, can you pass a drug test? I asked that question of someone a few months ago and they said, nope. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, well, medical marijuana. And I was like, okay, never thought to consider that, even though everything in the news is weed. So
it's legal here. Almost all the kids are using it.
Well, but does that mean that your parents want your summer camp counselors smoking weed before they show up to try to save a kid's life?
Right. There you go. Yeah. Okay.
Just because it's legal doesn't mean that I want, it's legal to go to a strip club. But if I have a parent say, hey, I saw your summer camp counselor at the strip club, I'm going to be like, great, we're having a discussion with him immediately. That's not the culture that I want. You're welcome to do that. I don't morally judge you. I don't want it on my staff.
I have a question about, like, if you're going to have somebody driving your van or driving your bus for anybody that's had like after school pickup or whatever. Okay, so it's a company-owned vehicle and it's an employee driving it. Does that employee's driving record factor into?
Progressive Commercial is the only commercial policyholder that I know of that will insure our style of business. I haven't heard of anyone else. I'm super open to it. Everybody says, oh yeah, mine can, but then when we dig into it, they won't. They go, wait, you're transporting students? No, thank you. Progressive Commercial is happy to take all of your money. We pay, I think, $1,600 a month for insurance. And all of our people, so I've got 1, 2, 3, I've got 4 drivers right now. And I'm on the policy even though I never drive, just in case. And yes, their driving record does factor into it.
No way of getting around that anybody knows of.
Only if they choose not, if you don't have them drive and never put them on the policy.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was always curious about that because, the vehicle is what's insured. Does it matter who's driving it?
They care. They care exactly.
I know they do, but.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? I would imagine on your policy, just like on my policy, it says, hey, we'll give you a discount if you sign here that no one under 25 is going to drive your vehicle. It's the same thing. They want to know who's the driver. They want to know my name and my wife's name. But on a commercial policy, I think that it's much more stringent and it's much more strict in terms of knowing exactly who's there. In fact, I still have a girl who had a fender bender. I still have her on our insurance because they require, for something like up to 3 years, they require her to be on the insurance as not eligible to drive. Now, that wasn't what made her not eligible to drive, but like once I fired her and took her off, it's like this weird thing that they've got a lot of rules.
Okay.
So, yeah. An independent agent can probably direct you through some of that, but make sure it's an independent agent who's familiar with that. Hey, have you ever done, commercial policies for daycare style places through Progressive Commercial? And they might tell you, we can also do it through this or whatever. But I would definitely investigate pretty hard.
Perfect. Thank you.
Good job, sir. A lot of great information today.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Bye.